Shout out to Phil Palmer, Junior boy. What's up, baby? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Resistance. Appreciate everybody in the stream. Sorry about the last stream. I had to dip out, check some diagnostics, run a few checks. One thing led to another. I took a little longer coming back like I said I was, but I'm in there. We're going to get into the rest of this, these two segments that I was going to play on the last stream. Unfortunately, I had to dip out, take care of some things, but I'm back with the two other segments. And it's going to blow your mind. Let's get into it. It's the Resistance. All right, so quick recap. As we all know, man was shot and killed yesterday in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. He was murdered in cold blood by an officer who mistaken their gun for a taser. So y'all remember this, right? We remember that. How can we forget it just happened? But I want to ask y'all a question. Do y'all remember this?
I would like to say good evening and thank you everyone for joining us.
Do you remember this one?
I would like to say good evening.
This is from This Is Butter. Y'all got to make sure y'all go over there and subscribe. This is Butter. He got all the latest body cam footage. He also have an article in it as well, included in the description. A 40-year-old Pipersville man is suing the former New Hope police officer who shot and injured him 2 years ago after confusing his taser with his service weapon. Brian Rilling, who was unarmed when he was shot following a brief scuffle in the New Hope Police Department holding cell on March 3rd, 2019, also is suing the borough, alleging officials failed to properly train and supervise its police officers. Riley claims that retired New Hope Police Corporal Matthew Zimmerman unreasonably used deadly force, violating his constitutional rights, according to the civil suit filed in the U.S. District Court in Philadelphia. This news organization was not immediately successful in reaching the attorneys David McMahon, who represent the borough. Attorney Joseph Santarone Jr., who represents Zimmerman, declined comment, but said he would be filing an answer to the complaint this week. The police-involved shooting garnered national attention after Bucks County District Attorney Matt Weintraub ruled it was not justified, but excused, citing the officer's honest but mistaken belief that he was deploying his taser at the time he fired. Zimmerman retired from the police department days before Weintraub released his shooting determination. So apparently, the officer who shot Deontay Wright is not the only officer who mistaken their gun for a taser. No aid, no medical, nothing coming to his aid. They just leaving him. They just left him there on the floor to suffer. New Hope Police, ladies and gentlemen. New Hope, Pennsylvania. He's asking him over and over again, "Why did you shoot me? Why did you shoot me?" The man didn't show any aggression or violence. If you could look, if you paid attention earlier in the video, he was bent over, holding his stomach. Looked like he was going through a drug situation, but he definitely wasn't showing any violence towards the officers. So they reported that shots was fired, but there's no medics on the scene yet. Nobody to take care of this man's injury. They just letting him lay there. So my first thing is, I didn't even know that they were allowed to have weapons past a certain point in the building. What is he doing with a weapon on him, a firearm on him in the cell? That's the first violation right there. Nobody said anything about that. So this man survived. He has a lawsuit in. This happened in 2019, and I played this video because I wanted to show you guys that this is not the first officer. This is the first officer prior to the one that we found out yesterday killed Dewante Wright, and she mistaken her gun for a taser. Well, 2 years prior, in New Hope, Pennsylvania, we have an officer right here who shot um, a prisoner in the stomach and mistaken his gun for a taser. So the lady who shot Dewante Wright yesterday, unfortunately, isn't the first one who mistaken that gun for a taser. So I have to say I can't let this video go on without saying that it is strange that there isn't any blood leaking from his stomach. I don't know what's going on. I have heard in some instances when people use drugs, they have a slow blood flow. I mean, but he just took a gut shot. So that's crazy right there. But as we read in the article, he did get shot in his cell by an officer who mistaken who mistaken their gun for a taser. We heard the gunshot go off, and we clearly seen the pistol in the police officer's hand when he shot him. Shout outs to Eric Larson. Appreciate you, bro. I received that cash drop. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That happened in 2019, New Hope, Pennsylvania. New Hope police. It's a prisoner in the cell. He wasn't resisting. He wasn't being violent towards officers. He looked like he was sick. And one of the officers decided to shoot him. And when he wrote in his narrative is that he mistaken his pistol for his taser. And I showed this video to show you that the officer who killed Devontae Wright yesterday is not the first officer who mistaken the taser for the gun. Supposedly. Now, I'm not saying, trust me, I believe that, her intent was to kill him. That's what I believe. This situation right here, I can't even make sense out of this one right here. But both supposedly mistaken their guns for tasers. This gentleman survived, but Devontae Wright, he passed away. Want to send my condolences to his family once more. And, it's a sad, tragic situation. It's very sick. Let me give a shout out to everybody in the chat real quick. Appreciate y'all. Phil Palmer, Rice Crispy. What's going on, Rice? How you doing? Rice said, yo, she didn't mistake anything. She knew exactly what she was doing. She pulled the trigger so many times. Definitely. I definitely believe that, bro. I definitely believe her intentions was to kill that man. I mean, come on. It was too quick. It was too on time. It was too on point. And, here and gone just like that. Shout outs to Dragon ET. What up, bro? Eviscerations. What's going on? Appreciate you, man. I got that cash drop. Thanks a lot. Dog Acid Ugly Man. What's going on? Paul Bear. OG Perfect Sense. Phil Palmer. Appreciate y'all. We're going to get into the aftermath, the press statement from the chief of Brooklyn Center. I had released the video earlier today and did a live on it, and didn't even realize that there was more commentary from the chief about the incident of Devontae Wright. And I had skipped through the video, and I seen they was grinding him up. So, you know what I mean? Let's check this one out real quick.
They needed to see it. I needed to be transparent, and I want to be forthright. I had due respect to Dante as well. From what I've understood from the public safety briefing, there was an expired registration on the vehicle. That means the tabs were expired.
Hold on real quick. I said I was going to shout out everybody in the chat. My apologies, but I can't just say a couple of names and keep going. Shout out Mr. 487. What's going on, bro? Who else we got in here? Gmo Hassan Adekolo Azaman. What's going on, bro? Jerry R. Burton. Mike Jones. Junior Boy. What up, bro? All right, let's get back to the video.
Upon arrival, when the officer made contact, I think at that time when he walked up to the car, he discovered that there was a hanging item from the rear mirror.
Well, this is his explanation of why they killed Devontae Wright at Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, 10 miles from the George Floyd murder. at 38th in Chicago. Less than a year of George Floyd's murder.
So there was a contact that the officer went up there initially for, obtained his ID or his driver's name. He walked back to his car, and at that time he ran his name, and he found out that name was a warrant. That's why they were removing from the car and they were making custodial arrests. I have very little information on the warrant other than it was a gross misdemeanor warrant. That I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question.
I can't quite hear the questions that they're asking on this low. This is not my it's not my volume situation right here. This is the feed. But they coming at him, and if you can see his face, he is hot.
There's no gun that I was made aware of. I did not search the car, but I have not been made aware of gun.
Shout outs, Wake Up America, True Seeker.
There has been a fair amount of social chatter in media, which I don't normally comment on, but there was some comments in social media that she had committed suicide. That is not true. That is not true. To the best of my knowledge, she's being taken care of right now. At this point in time, I don't have that. I will not release that information. That should be released very shortly, though. I believe the BCA has a system in place where they'll be releasing the names of all parties involved, and also all their training records and all that information as far as tenure and seniority. That'll be released shortly. At this point, I do not.
Face redder than a tomato.
I'm not in the mind of the officer. I can only see what you're all seeing. I can couple that with some of the training much of the training that I've received, and that's why I'm believing it to be an accidental discharge. It appeared to me from the video that the individual was trying to get back into his car to leave.
Face tighter than an ant coochie.
We have numerous trainings throughout the year. We don't try to lump it all in one group, so there's numerous trainings where we do tactical training, we do firearms training, we do taser deployments. We have pretty thorough taser pre-qualifications on a yearly basis, but then we also do a number of scenarios and role-playing exercises as well. I can take one more question, please. I don't know if that was a priority, but it was a violation that the officer observed and initiated a traffic stop. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. Yes, they are. That was the last question. I'm sorry. Let me be very clear. My position is that we cannot afford to make mistakes
that lead to the loss of life of other people in our profession. And so I do fully support releasing the officer of the duties. I do.
He supports relieving the officer of her duties, and he supports her being fired. He said.
Support releasing the officer of her duties. I do. I don't have an answer. I have not spoken with the officers involved myself. At this point, the DCA is the one that's in contact with those officers, and in fact, is the only one that's allowed to be in contact with those officers. Well, under our form of government, the city manager who's here, you can come up, Kurt. He ultimately actually has control over the police department, not the mayor, and over the chief. So you can comment on that. The city council also, has ultimate authority over what happens in the city collectively. So the city council can take action in this regard as well. Go ahead, Brian. Thank you. Yeah, my name is Kurt Bogany, Bogany. And in response to the question about termination, all employees working for the City of Brooklyn Center are entitled to due process with respect to discipline. This employee will receive due process, and that's really all that I can say today. As you can support the determination of an officer like this who has made the type of mistake that has cost a resident of yours life. You can support the
Shout outs MD.
this type of officer. That's just what we send it to the Brooklyn Center, to the rest of the world about the valuation of black life. You can support the combination of this type of officer. Yeah, I understand and appreciate the comment that you made and why you said it. But if I were to answer that question, I'd be contradicting what I said a moment ago, which is to say that all employees are entitled to due process, and after that due process, discipline will be determined. If I were to say anything else, I would actually be contradicting the idea of due process. One final question. What's your expectation?
Basically, they want to see how much they could clean this shit up.
Absolutely, I communicated that to the chief, and I do believe that the chief concurs with the notion that every resident of Brooklyn Center must be treated fairly, must be treated equitably. The city council has been very clear in its expectations about fairness and equity. We are implementing this year an Office of Anti-Racism Principles and Practices. We are hiring an equity officer in the next several weeks. The city council has provided specific direction about accountability for the police department and transparency for the police department. We've been providing reports to the city council. Yes, we're providing reports to the city council about officer discipline, about information on facts of black and brown people and people of color in the city of Brooklyn Center. We have been developing some task forces to assess if any of our policies or if any of our practices lead to disproportionate inequitable results. And our objective for doing that analysis is to eliminate any inequity that occurs as a result of our practices and our policies. And that has been communicated to the chief and to the police police officers for the city of Brooklyn.
So everyone, before we go on from the profiling that happens in this situation, we are standing in solidarity and calling for the rights of these officers. We are talking about their active due process, although Dante Wright did not give due process in that situation. We try to continue to send a message of this type of behavior will not be condoned in the city of Brooklyn.
Thank you. I appreciate those comments. It really wouldn't be appropriate for me to respond to that.
So what is he up there for? He's not answering nothing. Why are you up there?
I can't make that judgment. I was not. I can't speculate. I do not know why they would want to. I do not know why the chief left. I can only speculate as to why he left at at the time that he did. I don't have any speculation. I mean, it's possible that the chief takes a position perhaps similar to the city manager, that there needs to be some kind of a process, or I don't know. I mean, I would only. Certainly, those conversations. I'm not, a privileged conversation, so I can't reveal that right now. But we should be able to provide the details around the officer and her trainings, and those types of details.
So they invested $12 million into the state of Minnesota for more police training. Obviously, it didn't reach the city of Brooklyn Center.
Let me, just give me a second. I'm just going to check to see if is the chief engaged currently at the moment in addressing some public safety concerns or some other matter. Is there any reason why we can't have him answer some more questions around folks are asking about the officers training and whatnot? Okay, so we're so I just to be clear, we are checking right now with the chief to see if he will come back and stand for more questions. And so. All right. So I will have the city manager and the chief speak on that, but I'll speak first. My role becomes active the moment that I declare a state of emergency, and if the city council acts to give the mayor authority over the police, or under the circumstances of the declaration of martial law. And so my role really is one of influence in those situations. I cannot give commands to the department. I cannot instruct the police chief to take certain actions or not to take certain actions. The person who can do that is the city manager. And so, in terms of what the protocols are, and for handling protests, I imagine the chief will be coming back to join us and speak on that shortly. But Mr. Foggy, if you have any comments on that.
So these kangaroos is just going back and forth.
It's my understanding that man will be released very shortly, but it's my understanding that at this point the BCA who's doing the investigation is not is not it is not sure. Well, let me say this, and I will let the chief address that particular question as well. But I will tell you this: we have every intent to release that information as quickly as possible. I just leave it at that. We don't have there's no reason or desire to withhold that information any longer than it's absolutely necessary. I won't do that at this moment, at this place. It will be a
I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm sorry. I left. I'm used to doing the handout for the BCA. And I apologize for that. Normally the BCA steps in and they do a lot of the talk about the investigations. That's what I'm used to. So I apologize for that, but I'm back here now. I can answer some more questions, but please realize in an officer-involved shooting, what happens is I have no contact with that investigation because I don't want to taint that investigation. People can say they scoff at that. I looked at this video, which is unprecedented. I don't know if any chiefs have done that very often or has looked at that video in advance of that. So sometimes you can't unwatch a video. So hold on, let me finish, please. So what I'm saying is I have limited information. I'm not trying to be disingenuous, but I'm trying to stay away from the investigation. I wish the BCA was here, but again, they probably tell you the same thing, that there's not much they can do because it's an early investigation. Now please, one question at a time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My position is that officer afforded due process just like anybody else does. She has the right to be heard. She has the right to give her statement. She has the right to tell what she felt, what she thought. Not what I thought, not what I saw, but what she thought and that may have an impact. Yes, sir. My position is that officer afforded due process just like anybody else does. She has the right to be heard. She has the right to give her statement. She has the right to tell what she felt, what she thought. Not what I thought, not what I saw, but what she thought and that may have an impact. She's on administrative time. What? She will not be returning to duty until this investigation runs course. And for all intents and purposes, I think we can look at the video and ascertain whether or not she'll be returned. So one question at a time, please. Looks over here. Yes, ma'am. The first question is we do have a process in place, and that's leading on the BCA to do their investigation. Every shooting that I've seen, every shooting that I've witnessed has been different. Every circumstance is different around every shooting. It's tragic every time. The loss of life is obviously tragic, but there are different circumstances around every situation. In this particular situation, it was very important for me to get that video out as quickly as possible, and that's what I did. The information on the officer, she's a very senior officer. That's the extent that I can do. A very senior officer, and like I do believe that the BCA will be releasing all the information, training records, everything that they have. They'll be releasing that. That's public data. That'll be coming out shortly. There was strict adherence to the policy of working with a protest when it turns into a riot. Last night there were numerous warnings to disperse because it was an unlawful assembly. It was declared at least 5 times while I was there. Plenty of time was given to disperse, and it was not.
Was it your decision for people here now and to fire bullets, mortar bullets as a gun suspect?
I'm the police chief in the city. Police action is made by me. The decision is made by me. Does that answer your question?
So I have a question. Upon myself and other organizers and activists coming up to the police station, we were really shocked to see utter darkness, to see all of the lights,
Yo, his head about to bust.
all the way out, making the street virtually dark. We were really shocked and surprised to see that. From our experience, and I would imagine most other people's experiences, law enforcement would want to have as much light as possible to be able to see whatever is going on. I was told that most of the lights all went down that created a certain level of mood, a certain agitation within the crowd. What was your thinking? Because I was told that you made the ultimate call to turn all the lights on, even the street lights that was out in front of the building, to turn all of the lights on. What was your thinking about turning off the lights in the midst of people coming in and attempting to redress at the police station? What was your decision behind turning off all the lights?
Good question. He came at him with that one.
For the officers that were on the lights on the street, but I know the building lights were turned off. Building lights were turned off because they.
So people coming in and attempting to redress at the police station. What was your decision behind turning off all the lights?
I don't know about the lights on the street, but I know the building lights were turned off because they created a backlighting for the officers that were on the front lines. They became targets for concrete blocks, frozen cans that I personally saw and ducked. So that's what I turned those lights off. So yes, they weren't backlit. So then because they created a backlighting.
To turn all of the lights up, what was your thinking of turning all of the lights up, turning off all the lights?
I don't know about the lights on the street, but I know the building lights were turned off because they created a backlighting for the officers that were on the front lines. They became targets for concrete blocks, frozen cans that I personally saw and ducked. So that's what I turned those lights off. Yes, they weren't backlit. So then the people that were in front, they couldn't see it. So if we have lights in front of us, that's what the police department would like to have. We'd like to be looking out forward, not behind us, because then you get backlit.
So the lights I'm talking about were all around, so the lights were all around the front of the building. The police were well behind that. But it just created an entire darkness around the city. Everyone knew people for a station to have all the lights on, including the lights all in the street to create utter darkness. And a lot of times people get in a real ominous kind of mood. And I would say that it's very unusual. I've been to a lot of police stations, I've been to a lot of protests, I've been to a lot of these type of events. I've never seen the police department utterly shut down all of the lights. What was your thinking behind not so backlit light, but all of the lights, even in the back part of the police station, in general, to create utter darkness? And then also, one final question. What was your decision to issue a dispersal order while they were peacefully protesting in front of the police station? What led you to issue a dispersal order, and then on the back end of that dispersal order, then the issue of CO2 canisters and gas for the crowd?
So, yeah, just so everybody's clear, I was front and center at the protest, at the riot. We did not. There was.
Shout outs, but not. Hey, listen, man, they chewing him up. I haven't even spoken a word because I wanted y'all to see this, and I wanted to see it as well. But they is chewing him up, and right here at this instant, he's trying to say that there was a riot that started, and the people that's in there asking them the questions. I'm sure with some of the people that were out there at the riot. One lady just said it wasn't no riot out there, and he said sure it was.
Front and center at the protest, at the riot. We did not. There was. So we were being, the officers that were putting themselves in harm's way were being pelted with frozen cans of pop. They were being pelted with concrete blocks. And yes, we had our helmets on and we had other protection gear, but an officer was injured, hit in the head with a brick. It was a Hennepin County deputy. He was transported to the hospital. So we had to make decisions. We had to disperse the crowd because we can't allow our officers to be harmed. And I've already answered the question, I believe, about your light. I know that's a big deal with you, and I understand that. But I thought I'd explain that myself. So that is.
Oh, now he wants to be condescending. The man asked him about the lighting 2 or 3 times because he feels as though it's important that if the people of Brooklyn Center are protesting about Devontae Wright's death, then why would you shut down the lights at the police station, at the public building? And he kept asking him, the man kept asking him about the lights. And this is what he had to say, being smart and condescending.
Understand that? But I thought I'd explain that myself. Hospital. So we had to make decisions. We had to disperse the crowd because we can't allow our officers to be harmed. And I've already answered the question, I believe, about your lighting. I know that's a big deal with you, and I understand that. But I thought I'd explain that myself. So that's Rick. That was a Hennepin County deputy. He was transported to the hospital. So we had to make decisions. We had to disperse the crowd because we can't allow our officers to be harmed. And I've already answered the question, I believe, about your lighting. I know that's a big deal with you, and I understand that. But I thought I'd explain that myself. So that is, I told you, it's my decision, and that's why I made that decision. Is there another question? Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Tim Gannon, Chief Dickhead.
Sure. What? This is what I'm here for. Okay? I'm the leader of this department. They expect me to lead, create a safe city. That's what I'm trying to do. So that's it. Okay? And yeah, I'm emotional. I'm just trying to be honest.
So when I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
When you asked the protesters to take a step back and cross the street, what was the reason for after they went across the street, shot tear gas grenades and flashbangs, where the people were across the street where you had originally told them to be?
Sure. The only time that we returned, in every situation that we had, we returned fire. So when we got pelted with bricks, or frozen cans, which you collected, we photographed the evidence. We have the evidence. We can show that to you in the future. But once we got pelted, then we responded in kind. And there was a distance that.
Let me stop this right here because what he's saying is partly true. Okay, so all throughout 2020, I've been to a lot of situations where it started out as peaceful protests and it ended with police brutality as well as rioting and looting. Okay, I'm not going to leave that out. But here's the thing. They do get pelted with frozen water bottles and bricks and, all kinds of things. But most of the time, it's from a certain group. And this may be hard to believe to people who ain't been out there protesting. But majority of the people are out there exactly doing what they're doing. And that's protesting. Okay? I've highlighted the people who started the trouble at these protests. All y'all got to do is go back to my videos. Go to the Seattle video. Okay? You'll see who started the trouble, who was breaking the glass. Yeah, and it was a fella who skin was like mine, jumping up and down, and thought it was funny, And I highlighted him as the dickhead of the year. Go back to that Seattle video, either one, the edited one or the live one that was about 2.5 hours. Okay. Well, my point is that we know who starts the trouble. Y'all know who starts the trouble. So when they do get pelted with frozen water bottles and rocks or whatever, they do come at that specific group, but what they also do is they come at everybody out there that's protesting, and that's where they wrong at. Okay, they zero in on everybody that's protesting. They swinging their batons. They pushing you down on the ground. They macing you. They throwing flash bombs. They terrifying you. You understand what I'm saying? They know who's causing the problems. They see who causing the problems. They set up tactically. When they come through, they coming through on three sides. One block going north and south, and two blocks that's going east and west. And they closing in on you. And they force you out or down. Okay? They do it just like they was over if they was over there in Kuwait, or if they was in Vietnam. They tactically come up on you. So they know, they see, they know who's throwing the stuff, but they use it as an excuse to say, oh, they all were out. It's impossible. No. Got too many people out there that's coming out there for the cause, that's passionate, that's heard about what happened. Nobody's coming out. Excuse me, let me rewind what I said. I said nobody. Majority of the people aren't coming out to cause these problems. They're coming out because they're in distress. They got problems with what's going on, the injustice, the civil injustice is crazy. Nah, it's not the majority of the people. It's just certain groups. Okay? And whether you want to believe part of these groups are from BLM, or part of these groups are from Antifa, or part of these groups are from Proud Boys, whatever. Stick your hand in the pot and pull it out. All right? But check my videos out. Go back into my catalog and see what I highlight. Go to the Philadelphia video with the homeless situation that was going on down there. Okay? Go to the Boston video. Check it out. You'll see who's starting the problems. And the more I think about it, I think the Boston riots was more staged than anything. I mean, we had a burning car. Nobody knows who blew it up. Okay? I'm going at it with with Crips because the security guard want to tell me that we got to clear the air. You're a security guard. Why are you even out here at the protest? You're supposed to be in the building, holding the building down. So as I'm checking him, I'm approached by a Crip. Go to the Boston videos and check it out. I'm approached by a Crip. He flashing signs all crazy. My man KTL like, yo, come on, let's roll. I'm like, man, fuck these dudes. They out here flashing Crip signs when we got civil unrest going on. Civil unrest. This was last year when they killed George Floyd. Yeah, I say they. We know Chauvin did it. But he's part of that. Let me get this pig face off real quick. Sorry about that, y'all. But, man, listen. We know who did it. We know Chauvin did it. But I say that because he part of them folks. He part of them people. Okay? Anyway, I digress. What I'm saying is that they asking him why was y'all coming at us the way y'all was coming at us when we were peacefully protesting for Devontae Wright. And he's about to go into some cop explaining bullshit. And I'm telling y'all what it is right now. I was there all 2020, ever since the civil unrest started. Seattle, Philly, Boston, Rhode Island, you know? And I got put in the mix. I put myself in the mix. I had to learn all this shit. I had to learn about all these different groups. I had to learn about what Antifa was about and who they are. I had to learn about these Proud Boys and what they really represented. I had to learn about BLM, Black Lives Matter. That's all I'm for is the slogan. That's as far as it goes for me. Black Lives Matter. White Lives Matter too. Hey, look, listen. Peach Lives Matter. This peach face motherfucker. Even him. His peach face ass matters. Okay? So, say it to you one more time. They know where the heat coming from. But they also know who they want to direct the heat to. Alright? These protests have happened in major cities. We all know that major cities are mostly occupied by minorities. All right? And history tells us, whatever we read or whatever we go back, that the minority are the violent ones. But it's not true. I'm telling you, it's not true. It's not true at all. I'm not saying that none of us are violent. None of us as minorities are violent. Of course, we got our violent ones. These protests that I've been to last summer, we didn't come out there to be violent. They became violent once they got violent with us, swinging batons and stuff. I seen it. But, enough of me talking. I'll just go back to the videos.
There was a distance in everything that. Sure. 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 I understand that. Would I do things differently last night? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We had a situation where we were bringing in an arrest team. And we were worried. How many people are we going to arrest? When we started to move the people, finally, hours into the situation, you know how many people we arrested that stayed? 2 people. If we hadn't done that, if we hadn't moved people on, I don't know what would have happened. And I don't know where they would have reformed. But the people that left were allowed to leave. We didn't trap them. We didn't make mass arrests. We arrested 2 people. Tonight we're going to, if it's a peaceful protest, if it's a First Amendment protest, go to it. Well, not being covered with bricks, blocks, and being targeted.
But see, the people's conduct is not the conduct that should be questioned. The conduct that's never questioned or that is always deflected is the city police and whatever city that they go down in. Their conduct is never questioned. We've seen the body cam footage in the Boston videos, the Boston riot videos, where the police officers laughing of how he said that he used his vehicle to knock people out the way. We seen the footage of the young lady who got popped in her chest with the baton and got laid flat on her ass from the force of a 6'3", 6'4" white man, which was an officer, that knocked her to the ground. And she was just standing there with her hands up and he walked towards her. We seen that. But see, that conduct is never questioned. It's always thrown on the people. What you think the people there for? The people there for because of civil unrest, because of the things that y'all doing.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to have our officers lined up to protect this building, to protect the city as best we can. That's what we're going to do today. That's what we do every day.
I got one more question. When the officers were firing tear gas and flashbangs, there was an apartment complex with families behind it. And that's where a lot of the flashbangs were born. That flashbang hit into one of those windows, started that building on fire, and put a lot of other people at risk. Wow.
I didn't see any flashbang that was very close to those apartments. 1467th, I was there. I didn't see anything.
Hit the lights! Everybody about to get killed out here. Like it for everybody.
Except for and I didn't see that myself. But I'm not discounting you. Are there going to be more questions? The due respect for Dante was given at my order to keep the respect of his body, whether that be covered it or fenced it around, but we needed to have it maintained because we needed the investigation to be complete and thorough. I'm not discounting you. Are there going to be more questions? The due respect for Dante was given at my order to keep the respect of his body, whether that be covered it or fenced it around, but we needed to have it maintained because we needed the investigation to be complete and thorough. The documentation is not done by us, it's done by the VCA crime team, which is the entity that investigates these situations. They came out as quickly as they could, they processed the scene as quickly as they could. We did not want to maintain, as people have mentioned, once the officers left, the protests and the disturbance went away. We were trying to get our officers out there as soon as possible. That was a priority of my assignment to get him removed from that as soon as possible without disturbing the crime scene so that we wouldn't be accused of tampering with the evidence.
Now, let me ask Stevie any other questions here from any of the media folks? No? Thank you. Okay. Any final questions?
Final question. So, you shared that you have committed to protecting the building, protecting the city, night, or protest. Will you commit to protecting protesters and the people of the city?
I'm committed to protecting the peaceful protesters of the city every day. Peaceful protesters.
All right. So thank you everybody. Just to reiterate, my commitment, our commitment as a city, and in many ways we need to recommit to that. That is to making sure that we are protecting peaceful protesters, we're protecting the rights of people to gather and grieve and give their grievances to the government. And so we're going to work to continue to protect those rights, protect peaceful protesters, and to make sure that we're also securing the safety of our community. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, we have a community downstairs, outside the building.
Reconfigure downstairs about
Let's check out some footage from the supposed riot in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota.
driveway into the precinct or the police department. They stopped there about a few yards too early. Now they're moved up.
This footage from Unicorn Riot. Y'all can check Unicorn Riot out on YouTube.
Police are now aggressively moving forward. An apple was thrown at them.
Apple, what are you gonna do? Shoot us?
They're really itchy to shoot them, to shoot those guns. They're crowd control munitions in them. They're most likely 40 millimeter rubber rounds, and they probably have a sponge marker chalk on it. So they're now trying to move this gentleman. They just arrested him.
That man seemed peaceful to me. He was on his knees with his hands up.
They just arrested him.
It's a very psychological thing that's happening here.
Yo, is that all the stuff? Hey, what up? The rest. Police just grabbed somebody again.
Once again, I didn't see any violence right there. The people are allowed to be on the street. They were backing up and protesting.
I went to rest. Man, they just shot a dude right next to me. Sorry if I'm off on some of these movements of the camera. My camera's glitching right now. The weather and whatever else has made the screen upside down. So apologies. Doing the best I can. I've seen that at least. Waiting for this parking lot to please. Looks like they're trying to mess with the press right here. Yeah, you did. So it looks like they're checking everybody, make sure. How you doing? How you doing, Captain? You knew they were moving.
Yeah, this is what they do. They close in on you. All they need is one excuse from any group that's being disruptful out there. Just like you're saying, an apple was thrown at them. So that apple was thrown at them maybe 15 blocks away. And what they do is they use that for an excuse and they violate everybody's constitutional rights who's out there protesting. And they basically just, distribute tyranny and corruption throughout the whole night. So it starts from one bad apple.
That's just very sad how they did those to you. For a second, and then they snatch them up. Oh, there goes Movie! Captain, why are you doing this, Captain? Why are you doing this, Captain? Why are you doing this, Captain? What the press? Captain, why are you doing this, Captain? Why are you doing this, Captain? Why are you doing this, Captain?
You see that right there? She didn't do anything. She just walked up to the wall of police and, expressed her anger. So he just took his baton and slid her right on them.
A bunch of reinforcements coming on the side now. Again, apologies for the shots. Yes.
Well, first he told me I have to be on the north side, or get down to the gas station, because from down there, he said, get my car on that side. He said, get down to the gas station, you'll be fine down there. And then once this first order's done, and then you can head to your car. And then when he got down here, he said, I told you to move. And he said, he grabbed me. He said, I'm under arrest. I said, I don't know from this area. I don't even know. First, he told me it was Humboldt and 60 to get on the north side. And then I said, I'm not even from up here. I don't even know where Humboldt. Which street is Humboldt and which is 69. And also he grabbed me and said, you're under arrest. And then he just got chatting with me back there and tried to explain to me. And I said, hey, I don't know where we're at right now, which street is which and which direction is which. And so, and then he said, okay, we're clear now, right? I said, okay, fine, I'll go on to the 69th side.
You see, Milton County. SWAT, or Special Response Team. And here is a state trooper. The correctability is very hard. So, anyways.
People are coming all the way to the police line. The song really got it for them. Expect some police interaction, some police movements. Looks like they're going to start arresting now. They got at least 2 people.
And that's how they control the people, ladies and gentlemen.
Sidewalk, you sidewalk too. You sidewalk too, man. You sidewalk too, man. You sidewalk too. Yeah, we did have multiple conversations. Yeah, okay, so why you over here? Okay, so what is the north?
To pull in and clear this area from this portion of the tunnel. We're expecting to start moving however long, and they'll start with the move. Yeah. And you know that you as president, it's like double time. You had an officer in the back smacking his baton on the ground. Now we're yelling at each other, stop. This guy right here is the captain, I think, of this squad. We're media. We're media. Okay, sir. Fuck out of here, man. Oh. A lot of people are.
Shout out to Unicorn Riot for getting this amazing footage, man. Y'all make sure y'all go over to Unicorn Riot. He's been doing great coverage with the trial as well. Unicorn Riot, man, 81.9K subscribers.
They're leaving, but still there's people here in the parking lot. You know, they would have brought them in some sort of.
the police are going to make a move very soon, is my guess, within a certain amount of time. The crowd is a few hundred, I don't know, just 100 or a few dozen. So the police are making moves. They're trying to do the kettle maneuver. Right now, they're making the moves to kettle people. They just said, grab that explorer. What are you doing? I'm pressed. I'm pressed, dude. I'm pressed. I'm pressed. I'm moving out. I'm moving out right now. I'm pressed. Dude, I'm pressed. I'm pressed, man. I don't know what you're doing. I'm pressed right now. Watch out, Mr. Conservation Officer. I can't see either. Move around, man. Move around, bro. I'm not doing nothing. I got you. I'll show you my answer. Okay. Well, you came up to me trying to pull me. Here you go, sir. Yeah, I can't read the white my face. Thank you. All right. You're good. When you stay on the lights are in my face, you see it. I don't know why that conservation officer was trying to arrest me. You can out of here, dude. The TRV up here, advertising. People are doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 20 media out here. I don't see any protesters left, maybe 2 protesters in this group of 20. And people have sort of left this area. And the police are continuing to clear, come down, Humboldt. Like the officers that were worried about the gunshots are not worried about it anymore. Tune in to continuing to support us. We are only out here because you all allow it. We are a 501c3 nonprofit educational media organization. Any donation to us is tax deductible. If you're financially stable and privileged, and you feel like you like our work enough to support us financially, that's the only way we are able to continue. Also, sharing our work is very important for us. Commercial entities cannot use our work as well, so all of our stuff is Creative Commons licensed. It is free to the public to use. We're not in it to make money. We're in this to allow the community to have a voice and a platform. Again, thank you all for tuning. This is Nico from URI. This was the second day of Justice for Dante Wright protests. The police swept through, made a lot of detainments and a lot of violence towards the people. And this is the tail end. There's a curfew still installed into the city, into 4 counties across the metro area. I'm going to bring the stream down, back in, you can take it down. And again, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great night. And we'll see you tomorrow morning for the Derek Chauvin trial.
Shout out to Unicorn Riot for doing great coverage on that. That was the peaceful protest of Duante Wright, who was killed yesterday, Sunday evening. So I'm going to take y'all out with the Boston Riot video last year, 2020 in May. I appreciate everybody. Shout outs to Mike Jones, Eviscerations, Dragon ET, OG Perfect Sense, Wake Up America, but nah. Who else we had in here? Say Truth Seeker. Appreciate you. Black Panther. Appreciate all y'all, man, that be joining in with me every time I show y'all this tyranny and corruption. It never stops, and I'm never going to stop showing it. It's the resistance, man.
Nazi fucking Germany. This is what y'all want? You want to be like Nazi Germany, right? Now you need some papers. You want to see my papers? So you ready?
Shout outs, Mama Futz.
Yo, you out here to kill? You ready to kill, right, bro? You know your family out here, don't you? You know your family out here, right? You should not be like this, man. You a black man. No, you ain't gonna make your family, bro. Come on, baby, come on. I'm not gonna let you get hurt. I'm not gonna let you get hurt. Get back. Go back. Go back. I'm not gonna let you get hurt. Go. Go. They're gonna resist us. We all doing this shit. Where you at?
He hit me in my fucking chest for no fucking reason.
Come on, sit down.
Look at my hands up.
Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. Back up, you bitch. That's what you did. Back the fuck up. Come on. Where'd she go? Come on, baby. Come this way. I got you. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Did you see him? Hit me.
You all right?
He fucking hit me with his fucking stick right in my chest.
Get out the car! All they fucking people up, y'all. They gotta take this shit with them. Officer, can I get my brother? Can I get my brother? He's dead. No, he's dead. He's dead. Can I get him, please? Can I get him? He said I could come. I'm here for no ill intent. He's hurt. Can I get my brother, please? Can I get my brother, please? Can I get my sister? Can I get my sister? Can I get her, please? Can I get her? Can I come get her? Can I come get her, please? I can come. He said I could come, yo. He said I could come. I ain't for no other intent. He said I could come. I just want to get her. I just want to get her. Thank you. Come on. Where'd she go? Come on, baby. Come this way. I got you. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Did you see him? Hit me.
You all right?
He fucking hit me with his fucking stick right in my chest.
Come on, we gonna go there. Sit there. This shit over with.
What they do, man? This is like narcos.
Where you at?
First my chest. He hit me in my fucking chest for no fucking reason.
Come on, sit down.
Look at with my hands up. This is what they do, and then they surprise whoever doing it. I'm standing there, hands up.
So you ready to kill? Are you ready to kill?
And his fucking son started thinking about check and not give a fucking feet. Hands up. I was doing nothing.
Sit down and relax, baby. Sit down and relax.
Fuck people protest. We tried. They came shit anymore.
I'm working out here. What you got no mic for? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Back to fuck up. They got a fire, y'all. There's a fire. They burning the city down. They burning the city down. He this is what the people. That's about the police work. What the police did. Hurt the fuck up against each other. It's about the blow. It just blew up. They're gonna resist it. See y'all doing this shit. I know you want to make me long sucking. I'm long sucking your bitches, bro. That's why you mad. You mad. And like that, I be long. My dick like that. You want my dick in your hair? Look, and I'm fucking you like this. I'm fucking, nigga. Shit like that. That's why you don't sit down my neck. And me, I'm fucking your arm like this. Trying to kill your people like this, man. Why you trying to kill your people out here? They got your family and friends out here. Why you doing this, man? You a white man. Why you doing this, man? It's not cool. It's not cool, bro. Yeah.
He's turning his back because he's scared. This one, look at him. He's scared as shit. He got to turn around and look. He got behind. Look behind. I just came from Seattle. It was lit. They voice heard. No touchdown. No touchdown.
Shout outs to Azza breaking the floor. There's nothing going on, bro. Just showing an old video from last year, the Boston riots. Just making a comparison to a video I just showed a few minutes earlier in Brooklyn Center, Minneapolis. I'm sorry, Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. The supposed riot that happened last night over the death of Devontae Wright.
Not in the mix. It's the Reese's mix. That's accountability, y'all. That's accountability.
Nah, I haven't, Big Rooster. Shout out to Big Rooster. I'll check up on it, though.
stand in here holding the camera and talking. What am I doing? You are talking to me. Yo, get out my face, bro. Yo, out. Get out my face, bro. I need cameras over here, man. I need cameras over here. What y'all going through, man? I'm out here in public. What y'all going through to me? I'm out here in public, man. And your man telling me I gotta clear this area, man. It's a security guard. You let him know. You know this dude right here? Hey, Chuck, no, mind your business, bro. Nobody talking to you. Everybody talking to you, man. Mind your business. Mind your business. Alright, so you let him know that it's time to observe and report. He ain't gonna come to a private citizen. Yeah, let them know. Let them know. Let's have peace, brother, alright? That man right there telling me what to do. He ain't no police officer. And y'all let him know right now. They ain't got no business on a private citizen what to do in public. Y'all tell him that right now. Y'all talk to me. Don't fucking talk to me. Talk to him. Fuck out of here, man. This guy's sprayed. And you mind your fucking business, yo. Fucking boy just died out here. He just died in Minneapolis. And you gonna tell me what the fuck you do? Fuck out of here, man. This guy sprayed in my face. I'm gonna man. Fuck y'all, man. This guy sprayed in my face. I'm gonna fuck like you on the sidewalk. Fuck out of here, man. This guy sprayed in my face. I'm gonna fuck. Fuck out of here, man. This guy sprayed in my face. I'm gonna fuck like you on the sidewalk. Fuck out of here, man. This guy sprayed in my face. I'm gonna fuck like you on the sidewalk. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck y'all, man. What's up? What's up, man? What's up, man? It's one finger. What? Yep, already was.
Theoretically, we could take one more.
I drove down the street. There was an unlocked state police cruiser that they were all fucking boarded out. So I overcommitted. So I got the fucking tree line park. And I was in the middle of fucking so then I had to fucking keep coming. Fucking hitting people with the car. Did you hear me? I was like, get the fuck this thing is. Oh, no, I know. See, just trying to shit. Shit was coming out of the way. This fucking
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Viscerations, Mr. Salt, Mike Jones, Azza, Bernard, OG Perfect Sense. I appreciate y'all. You know I do. I'll be back. Bring y'all more tyranny and corruption. It won't take long. They do it every day, y'all. All you gotta do is just lay down, wake up the next day, open the paper, turn on the news, and check out the resistance. You'll get the last update of the man getting his head cracked by the police. And that's real. I'm out, y'all.